made a pretty crazy discovery. Our boom is about to fall off.
And now we're going on the longest sail we've ever been on.
Tuna! Tuna! Tuna!
You ever just want to quit your job, buy a boat, sail around the world?
Well, what if we told you that was possible?
I'm Rad.
And I'm Sasha.
With more willpower than money and a dream to become pirates,
We bought a sinking sailboat and spent the next 9 months transforming it.
into one of the sexiest boats on the 7 seas.
There is nothing that can get in the way of us sailing around the world.
So grab your popcorn, hit subscribe, and be prepared for one hell of a story.
The story of our lives.
This is the journey of Spirit Animal. Time to get rich, baby. After another brutal, unsuccessful, and pretty scary treasure hunt,
Motherfucker.
I walked out from beneath the tree canopy and was faced with a wicked thunderstorm. A wall of black clouds and thunder and lightning, and I knew I had 2 options. Stay back and wait for it to pass and probably end up sleeping in a cave, or go full speed directly at it and try to beat it to the boat, which was a 6-mile run across open flats where I had a big chance of getting struck or running aground. But there was no way I was gonna leave Sasha alone, floating on a 68-foot lightning rod. Hauling at. All gas, no brakes. Sitting on the bottom of the dinghy with a kill switch on my wrist, having a direct conversation with Jesus. I could feel the static electricity in the air, and it seemed inevitable that I was about to get struck.
Of course, I was very worried that Rolf wasn't back yet. This storm looked nasty and it came out of nowhere. But we'd been experiencing these storms all week, and we knew there was a chance that if one popped up, he was gonna have to hunker down and wait it out. However, once it got dark, I was starting to get worried. I'd been sending Rolf messages about the storm rolling in, but I hadn't gotten a response yet. The only thing keeping me at bay was knowing that the signal was probably getting blocked by the storm. So all I could do was stay positive and wait.
Sasha!
Oh my God, where have you been?
I thought I was Kentucky Fried. That was the sketchiest ride of my life. I just wish that I would have kept recording because lightning was coming down with a purpose. I don't know why it feels better to be on this boat now because we're sitting on a floating lightning rod, but I'm back with Sasha. So let's hope the storm passes and hope we don't get struck because we are out here
in the middle of nowhere.
There is no other boats around. Fingers crossed. The next day, we finally had some sunshine, so it was time to move.
Well, we had to share this with you guys. We just left our anchorage here in Crooked's. We were anchored in a, I guess you could call it the flats for the last few days because the wind was like kind of all over the place, and it was a great place to hide out in the meantime. So we're moving. And the reason we wanted to show you guys is because check out that water.
The water was absolutely mesmerizing, and it was now time that we get ready for our longest sail yet, leaving the Bahamas and heading further south before hurricane season comes upon us.
But yeah, our plan is to leave in just a couple days. We're off to the Southern Caribbean, finally. So excited.
There's a few things we need to do before we leave, like catch more fish. Yes, we loaded up a few weeks back when my parents came to visit, but half those fish were eaten and the other half were stored in the ice chest for desperate times. Right now, our fridge is very empty, so as we head to the north side of the island to go re-provision, we scanned for opportunities to fill the fridge.
Okay, well, we went over this mega coral head in about 40 feet of water. We jumped in and there were 2 mega mackerel, so now we have to come back and get our pull spear, then we're gonna hop in and hopefully have some sushi fish tonight. We got our pull spears ready, we got our fins ready, let's go. By the time we grabbed our spears and jumped back in, the mackerel were nowhere to be found. We dove for another 20 minutes, throwing the flashers and scanning the reef before we decided it was time to keep moving.
Well, that was a fail.
Grab the spears and then they're gone. That's how it works.
Yep, they were gone. We're bummed. Oh, dolphins! Are those dolphins? Or are those tuna? Tuna! Tuna! Tuna!
I don't know. Are those tuna?
Yeah, they're jumping!
Big old Papa. Look at that. Call that Papa John's right there.
Ruff quickly rigged up the rod while I kept my eyes on the tuna.
Okay.
Ready?
Yep.
But of course, in the 2 seconds that it took to rig everything up, the tuna were nowhere to be found.
Well, it looks like we missed them again. Well, that was a bummer.
Caught us with our pants down 2 times. We got ready quick.
Not quick enough.
Not quick enough. 0-2. That's what happens, man. You see the fish, you go grab the spears, the fish leave. You see the fish, you go grab the fishing pole, fish leave.
We struck out all day today, but Raph was determined. So we anchored offshore to get away from the mosquitoes and right on the drop-off so we could try to catch some yellowtail.
Wait for it. Oh, there it is.
That was so good.
Oh.
Oh, it's a jack.
Nope. That's a nice yellowtail. Oh, actually, I don't know. Ooh, you may be right. Shit, he's got me.
It looks like it's fighting like a jack. He holds you?
He's got me in the reef.
Ah, darn it. Yeah, he brought you in there fast.
I think that guy gave me arthritis.
Arthritis. Oh!
Oh!
I thought you had it.
Eventually, his persistence paid off, and we didn't have to go digging in our reserves in the freezer.
Sushi! Sushi!
And you could tell by his reaction that this fish meant a lot to us.
Raph is the real MVP here.
Never give up, baby.
Cause, yeah, baby! We got some yellowtail! On top of a beautiful sunset. We've had some super fiery sunsets the last few nights, and they've been absolutely incredible. Well,
Can't wait for sushi rolls. What do we got? Cream cheese? Rice?
that's it. And the final product. Teamwork.
Makes the dream work.
We got some yummy yellowfin, or not yellowtail. Time to enjoy some sushi dinner.
All we have is cream cheese and yellowtail.
Yeah, that's literally all we have right now. I'll show you. Our fruit
We got 2
baskets are
oranges.
yeah, 2 oranges. We have an old green cabbage, and everything else is empty, aside from some dressings and stuff.
That happens sometimes out here in the Bahamas. Basically, we're in a little island way far away from civilization. They get all their food from a mailboat, and the mailboat just decided not to show one week. So all of our vegetables after 2 weeks went bad. Now everyone on this island, which is about 50 people, are just waiting for some fresh food, including us.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, it's oatmeal, rice, and fish.
Which is not a bad combo.
Nah, we make the best of it.
Bon appetit!
We enjoyed our sushi knowing that tomorrow was a big day. But before we embark on our longest sail yet, we have one more project we have to do.
You gonna summon me?
Come out wherever you are!
No, not like that.
Get out here!
Get out here. Today is the day. Look at this sexy beast of a propeller.
Oh my god.
Check this out. The gory 3-blade folding overdrive propeller. I could literally sit here and do this all day. I can't believe every time these things swing, they never touch. Look at this engineering. So this is a right-hand prop, self-feathering. It turns this way when we have the boat going forward. In reverse, the prop is gonna spin this way. Now your leading curved edge is spinning, and now you are just as efficient as you were in forward. You don't have this prop walk, and your boat is gonna back up where you tell it to back up.
So why are we installing this prop now? Well, it's getting kind of late and hurricane season is just around the corner, and we want to get out of the hurricane belt. Here's a chart of all the hurricanes in the last 15 years that are at least a category 1 or higher, which is why a lot of people go to Grenada for hurricane season. As the crow flies, it's about 1,000 nautical miles, but with all the tacks and jibes, it'll probably be a 1,200 nautical mile sail. So if we have 1,200 nautical miles to go and we're averaging 5 knots of speed, it'll take us 240 hours to get there, or 10 days. But if we could somehow gain a knot and go 6 nautical miles an hour, that means it would take us 200 hours or 8.3 days, knocking nearly 2 days off our trip, which is one of the reasons why we're changing our prop.
So this is like the ultimate motor sailing prop, and this is the most streamlined folding prop design you can get. A lot of other folding props have the blades that just turn like this, and they can still catch weeds and aren't as streamlined as this. Not only that, it has so many other benefits. This is how you put it into overdrive. Okay, we're going in reverse, the boat is backing up. I put it into neutral, well the boat is still moving backwards, so the force of the water is gonna hold these blades open. Now, I wanna shift it into forward. This is gonna lock the prop into overdrive position, and you can tell because your flat edge is now your leading edge. This is gonna give you 20% more of a pitch. This allows us to go faster at a lower RPM. This prop is the cream of the crop. The cream of the prop.
Before the install, we wanted to find a shallower anchorage just in case we dropped some parts. So we set sail and headed east.
We have a beautiful sail. I think we've been cruising at around 5.5, 6 knots, so not too bad. Slowly making our way south. We haven't quite decided where we're gonna go. I think Grenada is the final destination. We're debating between I-65 and going through the Thorny Passage.
I don't know what the hell that is. You gotta tell them what that is.
I thought you were supposed to be sleeping.
Okay, good night.
He was supposed to be sleeping. Okay, so I-65 is when you go out to longitude 65 and then you sail straight south to most likely Tortola. Because of the trade winds, you're able to head directly south. So you're avoiding all the weather and the waves and just the tumultuous waters in between DR, Puerto Rico, and USVIs.
Is that a word?
Tumultuous, yes, that's a word. Add it to your vocabulary.
Done.
Sleep.
Good night.
Anyways, the Thorny Passage is in between Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, and the USVIs. It's just very rough waters, and you're beating into it the entire time because the trades run from the east right now, and you're trying to go east. So yeah, not fun.
All right, so now let's install this thing underwater, of course.
First thing we did was disassemble the prop so we could install it piece by piece. There's a manual for this. Then we coated all the bolts with Loctite using 248 since we were going to do it underwater. Then Sasha pulled out the Nomad so I wouldn't have to fight the urge to breathe. We gathered up all the tools and it was time.
First thing I'm gonna do is go get that socket that just fell in the water, and then I'm gonna take off the old prop.
It was inevitable that we were going to drop something, which is exactly why we did it in shallow water. I unscrewed the prop and then gave it a couple taps to try to shock it and vibrate it loose.
I'm gonna need the prop puller.
This is one of those tools that you don't think you'll need until you need it. But even with the prop puller, I still had to tap it to assist it off, and the prop was very heavy.
Yeah!
She's off!
The last thing we had to do was clean up the prop shaft with a wire brush and then begin to install our brand new prop. But just like every boat project, it's never that easy. As I went to tighten the prop nut, the socket wouldn't fit inside of the prop flange, and now we were hundreds of miles away from the nearest hardware store. On top of that, there was some weather moving in, and we wanted to try to beat it and leave ASAP, and we really didn't want all this hard work to go to waste and reinstall our old prop. So we had to think of a way to make this work.
Go see if that did it.
After 20 minutes of grinding down the outside of the socket with a very dull feathering blade, we finally got the socket to fit, which means we were back in action.
Let's do it! Install went pretty smooth. Thank God for the Nomad.
Once we got the tools put away, it was finally time to test the new prop.
The install took about an hour, and during that time, the tide had dropped. So much, in fact, that we weren't sure we were going to make it out of the harbor. If the keel wasn't dragging through the sand, it was hovering within inches. We bumped along the bottom and ran aground multiple times, but eventually we made it out to deeper waters where we could finally test out the new prop.
1800 RPMs with the new prop on, and we are going 7.6 knots. With our old prop, we were going 7.1 to 7.3, I believe. And now with it in turbo mode going 1800 RPMs, we go 8.5 knots. So we gain a whole knot at the same RPMs. That's incredible, especially because a lot of times when we're motor sailing, we just put the boat in gear and you're only running 1200 RPMs. We'll have to look at our fuel efficiency chart on our engine, but I bet we'll be saving at least a third of a gallon an hour, if not half.
So without getting too technical, here's a chart of our statistics both with the old prop, with the new gory prop, and with the gory prop in overdrive mode, which gives us about 120% increase in speed at the same RPMs as the old prop. And in our case, that means the gory prop will shed 400 RPMs and push the boat the same speed. So check this out. Here's a fuel consumption chart for the exact engine on our boat. You can see at 1800 RPMs, we burn about a gallon an hour. Well, 1800 RPMs with the old prop means we're going 7.2 knots. And to compare that with our gory prop in overdrive mode, we could go 7.2 knots right around 1400 RPMs. And if we go back to our chart, at 1400 RPMs, we're only burning a half a gallon an hour.
So if you think about that, if we do save half a gallon an hour, that's 50% efficiency savings. So that means we can literally go twice as far on a tank of gas motor sailing, in a sense, that we could without the overdrive mode. That's pretty incredible.
And there's one more thing that we still haven't addressed. The old prop was pretty much like dragging around a 5-gallon bucket that loved to collect a lot of weeds, which slowed the boat way down. Whereas the gory is absolutely streamlined under sail, probably giving us at least another half a knot of speed.
I just want to be clear. We did not get that propeller for free, and this was not a paid promotion. We bought that propeller with our own money. We definitely made the right decision. The statistics alone prove that this propeller is going to pay for itself within the year. And in fact, we like it so much that we reached out to AB Marine, who is the US distributor for gory propellers, and we joined their affiliates program. And they said, whoever calls us and buys a gory propeller and mentions the name Spirit Animal, we will give them a fat discount. But enough of that, we got to get moving.
We're on to our longest crossing yet. Together. I've never gone more than 3 days straight as a crossing. Neither has Ralph.
Nope. So We don't even know how far we're going right now. We're just gonna try to make it as far east as possible with this southerly wind that's coming through. We got like a nice little weather system blowing. So we're gonna try to get to the Virgin Islands, and if we make it all the way there, it's gonna take us anywhere from 4 to 7 days.
Yeah.
So,
but it's our longest crossing yet, and it's exciting.
we lost our wind instruments. We do have a GPS though, and now we're going on the longest sail we've ever been on. It is storming, and there's rain clouds in every direction except a little peak of sunlight over here.
The wind was just dead and it picked up, so we're gonna take this and hopefully we can ride it east.
Here we go.
With the weather being silently vicious, we put in a second reef in our main and only let out a third of the head sail, preparing for anything to come. And it didn't take long.
This is one way to start a sail.
A violent squall hit us so fast we didn't even have time to film it.
And we got blasted with 40-knot wind.
And even with a second reef in the main, the boat heeled over and everything inside went flying.
Yeah, it was a little worse than we thought.
We also heard a loud bang that Sasha went to go check out.
I made a pretty crazy discovery. Our boom is about to fall off. I'll show you guys. Definitely have to pull in somewhere. Getting hit with another squall right now.
Thank you so much to our patrons for keeping this journey alive and making this channel possible. See you next week here on The Spirit Animal.